Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus here again, spokesman and advocate for basic human rights for all people. Tonight, I am speaking at a local church here in Maplewood, Minnesota. We got these little cities right here connected together, so sometimes you have to think about it before you can really identify where you're at. And initially, when I accepted the invitation, I had a thought in my mind of having the church filled. To me, the message that I bring from the Spirit is one that is so beautiful and one that I have championed for so long, till I'm thinking if I had an audience, a big audience, that the spirit of that message would generate throughout the communities from where these people are from. And it would begin to spread. And in light of all the things that's going wrong in our country and in the world today, we could see a glimmer of hope, but one that was founded not just on faith, but one that was founded on action. And then reality struck. And that reality is that I would be lucky or blessed if there were at least 10 people there tonight. And that thought first hit me, I felt a little defeated. I felt a little broken, knowing that everybody out here prayed for what I bring to them. And yet, in bringing it to them in their prayer, they don't have time to listen. Timing means that the programming has put them not only against one another, but against their own best interest. And so I thought about that. I thought about how 10 people represents a portion of all that could have been there. And this 10% could possibly be all that's needed to kindle a flow of the spirit of this message. And so I began to feel all right. But I want you to know, ladies and gentlemen, those of you who have finally got to this video, to know that if you were in Russia, you would not live the way you live here. There are two different societies. They got two different systems of operation. And yours would not be accepted there. And theirs can only be accepted here with that immunity, diplomatic immunity. Otherwise, theirs would not be accepted here. And what I am saying to you Americans who profess to be born again is, in spite of the analogy I've just shared with you, you are in this situation. You are an American in American society. You've always gone along with the program. Since your birth, you've gone along with the program. But something got your curiosity and pulled you off the path of that program. And now you've gone out there in some place out there in the wilderness, and now you say you have your eyes open. Now you say you can see the truth about life. You can see the truth about peace and prosperity and joy. And you can see that being expressed in a society, and in a society where everybody can have their, not only their needs, their wants, but their desires met. And it's all wrapped up in each other being free to do what they have been given to do. And in so doing, they all would be the master behind the fruition of all the satisfied dreams of the human population. Well, now, for me, if you see that, and you realize the kind of society that you live in, you can make a decision about the future of your life, because you do have choice. What are you weighing? You are weighing the human race, beginning with Americans. Every last one of them, including you, are satisfied with your life. Why? Because you're not at war with anyone. You are doing what you love doing. And you can do what you want to do. Because if you did nothing, then other people would have nothing to do. So your doing something makes it possible for them to do what they were made to do. It's so fantastic. It's so simple and so easy. Paradise is. It's not this complicated thing about who's trying to protect whose money, who's trying to protect whose property, who's trying to protect whose interest. Whose property is it? I ask you this. Who made the gold? Who made the diamonds? Who made the oil? Who made the steel? Who made all of the minerals that exist on the earth? Who made them? Let me ask you this. Who made humans? Who fixed that up so humans can do the things that they do? Who did that? And then put it here so they can operate on the earth and can have peace and prosperity and joy, or hell if they so choose. Who did that? It wasn't you. But here we are in the midst. And we got to make a choice. So even here in America, to be born again means that you see that path. It means that you choose that path. It means that though Russia, I guess it means this, you got diplomatic immunity. Diplomatic immunity. Because you're walking on a path that leads to heaven. And what is your job? Your job is to live before mankind the same way you would live in heaven, so that mankind can understand what heaven is made of, so they can understand what peace and prosperity and joy is made of. And who is going to do that except those who can walk down the path of life? Not somebody who's out there guessing, not somebody who's out there trying to interpret what somebody is talking about, but somebody who can lead down that path. And how do you know that they lead down that path? Because they're willing to turn the other cheek. Because they're willing to say it is about all of us and not just me or us. Because they're willing to walk all the way, knowing that without the power of the Spirit behind them, whether it's in spirit form or whether it's being manifested through you, the people, without it, I would be no more. But I will always be, because the Spirit is in me. And as it is in me, and as you see the Spirit in me, you will understand what the Spirit is doing in you. Well, I go to court on the 20th. Traffic, speeding. They caught me in a little speed trap. I was in a hurry. Nobody else on the road to see but me. So I think I was maybe exceeding the speed limit, maybe about 40 miles, maybe about 5 miles an hour. Anyway, I got pulled over. But the thing of it is, ladies and gentlemen, that is one of the policies and rules and regulations of the current system that we live under. That is the way it sustains itself, by manipulating and imposing fees and penalties on people for doing things that happens naturally. They do this because they need finances to keep their programs going, programs that work against the people, programs that approves poverty and the creation of the crime and violence and drugs and all of the things that we have to go through, the terrorism and the war. All of this all of that, ladies and gentlemen, is connected. It's connected. This is why when you're born again, you know that. And you know that that's not going anywhere. You know that politicians, when they speak about making changes, they're just talking about another form of the same things that we've been going through all our lives. Sometimes it appears that it might be getting a wee better, and most times it's getting a lot worse, but never being corrected because there's no one trying to correct it. And the correction comes from the Spirit. And if the Spirit can live in anyone, then the Spirit will rise up and begin to be seen in the lives of wherever the Spirit resides. And all of the world can see God in you. And I'm talking about the real God. I'm talking about a God of love. I'm not talking about a God that approves you going killing somebody to prove that you love God. I'm not talking about a God that's saying go into war and take over somebody's land or property or anything that they have called themselves in control of. No, I'm not talking about that kind of God at all. I'm talking about the God that says he's responsible for all the beautiful women and all the ugly women, all the handsome men and all the ugly men, and love them all the same. And every last one of them got the same access to whatever life has to offer as any other. That's the God I'm talking about. That's the God that I'm going there and tell those folks, I'm not letting you control my life anymore. When you have stood before the world and told the American people the only choice that you have before you to be your president of the United States is evil. Now you choose. And people start jumping at what they call the lesser of the two evils and still voting for evil. And somebody who sees a different path, one that leads to peace and prosperity and joy, but in order to get there, the first thing they got to do is step off the one they've been walking all the time, which is America's system of abuse, and stand up for the spiritual system of God, of love, so that the world may see, even beginning in a small situation like a traffic court. Sometimes I get a little nervous. Sometimes I feel over the hill. I'm so excited. But you know what? It is a difference. It is not the norm. It is the first step to freedom. Bye-bye.